This is a welcome video and layout tour for people that have not operated on the layout before. The SPSF South Omaha Industrial Spur is a small switching layout set in southeast Nebraska on the former Rock Island line. The area that you'll first walk into is the crew lounge, and there will be snacks here for op sessions. You can also find pencils and switch sticks and other equipment that you'll need for the op session, but you're also welcome to bring your own. Over here is the operations center and dispatcher's desk. There'll be throttles here to use. There's two different kinds. The system is run on NCE for DCC operation. And here the crew will also find the work orders, which are JMRI, and position description. For an op session, we run one two-person crew, the local that has a conductor and an engineer. There are 3 locations on the South Omaha Industrial Spur: South Omaha, Bellevue, and Papillion. So first we'll start in South Omaha. We'll take a look at the South Omaha yard and the yard office. This is where you begin each session, where all the cars originate from the yard and the locomotives. All locomotives have DCC and sound and momentum, so you'll want to give it a test before. I'll go through some of the most common things that you want to use in the session. So typical throttle here, I've already called up the engine. So 1 is the bell, 2 is the horn, or also the horn button, and 3 is a short horn, and 8 is the brake. So you'll want to give the momentum a little test just to get a feel for it first. And then if you need the brake, just like that. The consoles will change based on the operating session, but basically all of them run the same. In South Omaha, you'll see we'll have 2 fast clocks, one here at the dispatcher's desk. There's also a fast clock located up here in the corner. And those will have the times so you know when to start and end, and also when you can switch different industries. There are 4 industries that the local works in South Omaha. The first one is Omaha Paper Stock. Then we have Ready Mix, which has their own track mobile. And then 2 industries over here, which is Sutherland's, which is a building products, and Millard Refrigerated, which is a cold storage. We also have Schooler Grain, which is switched outside of the op session, and it has its own switcher located here. The switcher can be used during the op session if you need some extra help. You can also use a siding at South Omaha, which is the extra track that runs all the way around here on the outside, if you need to run around your train before or after the op session, or any time during it. One thing I want to point out here are the yellow rail chocks. If you need to stop a car on a grade, or if you just want to put an end to a car, use these, and you just place it at the end of the wheel and it'll stop the train. I also want to point out the Washington Street signals here, which are used to control this crossing. Right now it's currently green for the street traffic, and so when you get to this crossing, stop the train, and then you switch it to rail traffic, and then when you're done with your work here, make sure to switch it back to the auto traffic. Next, we'll go down to Bellevue, which is in this corner here. There are 3 industries that the local works in Bellevue. One is Ultra Metal Recycling over here, then there's Payless Lumberyard here, and then the Standard Distribution Warehouse right here. We also have a siding track that goes around to switch the industries, and also a place where you can run around your train and stage cars. There's also a team track right here, which can be used to stage cars, and different trucks can come up and get empty the cars out. I want to point out the track diagrams on the fascia that are located at various points. These show industry and track locations as well as directions. So here we have customer standard distribution. You can see where the cars are spotted at the different doors, and also running east or west. and street crossings and other various information. There are also locations that have padlocks with doors with instructions in them, and some are also used to control gates, entrances into the industry. So the conductor will have keys, and you basically use the color-coded and just unlock here and open it up. And if there's noted on the work order that you have additional instructions, you'll see it here, and it'll tell you exactly where to spot the cars. If it's a gate, just unlock it to open the gate. Also want to show you how to flag a crossing for reverse move. For an unsignalized crossing, which there are a couple on the South Omaha Industrial Spur, when you're going forward, you don't need to flag it, obviously, because you have the locomotive with the horn and bells that you use. But when reversing through the crossing, the conductor will have flags. You want to set these up on either side of the crossing, and then you can reverse shove through it, just like that. And that's for going through with either a freight car leading or a caboose. Also want to point out that there's sky hooks located at various points that look like this, and you can just put your clipboard up there if the conductor needs to use the hands for something else. So next we'll go down to Papillion. Papillion has two customers, the Bulk West transfer facility here, and then at the end of the line is Lazier, which is over here. One thing I want to point out here that we have on the South Omaha Industrial Spur are blue flags that are only moved by the industry foreman. And so these just show that a car might be getting worked on. And so you want to make sure you contact the industry foreman to get those moved before you move the cars. And here we have another signalized crossing, which is 72nd Street. This one has flashing, or they will be flashing at some point there yet, but signals. And so the crew just turns them on before moving through the intersection, and then the crossing. And then when you're done with your work here, make sure to turn them off so that the traffic can go back through. Also want to point out that at various points in the layout, we have folding cup holders. If you have a drink, feel free to set it on there instead of the layout, and also coupler or throttle pockets if you want to place your throttle there. And with that, that's a basic tour of the South Omaha Industrial Spur of the SPSF Railway. So again, I just wanted to give an overview of the layout so you know how it runs and where everything is located. And feel free to ask any questions on this video or on the Facebook page, and I'll answer them. And also make sure you visit spsfrailway.com, the website, where you can download all the documents for operating sessions. So thanks for joining and tuning in, and I hope you learn a little bit more about the layout, and I will see you next time.